Happy football to you. The season is here. The 2024 season is right around the corner as the Houston Texans' long off season is over. Talk about the final thoughts before the game kicks off at noon Central Time against the Indianapolis Colts, and the 2024 season arrives for us. Those final thoughts powered by my friends at BetUS. If you'd like to try out BetUS, YouTube 150 when you sign up, we'll get you a 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. Check them out with YouTube 150. So the Colts host the Texans to open the 2024 season, ending the long offseason. The offseason that began with disappointment in Baltimore was propped up by an incredibly exciting free agency, the addition of Stefon Diggs, a fun draft, and a long training camp because of the Hall of Fame game. But it's here. 2024 is here, and we've made it. Congratulations. You made it all the way through the offseason. How can the Colts win this game? How can the Texans win this game? And a score prediction for you here in just a moment. On paper, the Houston Texans have everything that they would need to be a Super Bowl contender. They've got excellent quarterback play. They've got a ton of weapons on offense. The offensive line should be better than last year, and they've got plenty on defense, not to mention one of the better coaches in the NFL. Everything on paper aligns for the Houston Texans to make a run through the AFC and challenge for a Super Bowl. They are Super Bowl contenders as 2024 starts. That's all on paper. Once the ball gets kicked off in Indianapolis, get rid of the paper. It doesn't matter anymore. It'll all be on the back of the hard work of those Texans players and coaches. How can the Colts win this football game? How can they beat the Texans and start a season filled with promise and excitement on a sour note for the Texans? For the Colts, it's about 2 things. Maximize what you do great and minimize the limitations of your team. What do the Colts do really well, and what are they capable of doing really well? They're going to run the football really well. If Jonathan Taylor controls this game, for the Indianapolis Colts, the Texans may not have a shot. Taylor controlling the game keeps Anthony Richardson from having to throw the ball a ton, keeps him from having to try to win over the middle with intermediate routes, puts him in a lot of short passing situations, and allows him to take chances with deep passing. I'm no big Anthony Richardson fan, but that guy can put it deep down the field, and that guy can hit some of those short, easy ones that the Colts offense is set up to have success with the Michael Pittman route running, the Adonai Mitchell in the slot. Alec Pierce can get things done. They utilize the tight ends. They even throw the ball to Jonathan Taylor sometimes as well. Richardson can make all of that happen. So they've got to maximize what they do really well, which is they can run the football. And Richardson's a part of that as well. They got to minimize the limitations of their quarterback. If the Texans have them in 2nd and long and 3rd and long, and Richardson's got to go out there and make intermediate passes, I really like the Texans' situation there and their ability to stop Richardson, force a punt, and get it back on offense. The Colts, same thing on defense as well. They've got a really fun front 7. They've got some really good players. I like their edge players. They're obviously their interior defensive line with Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner are fantastic, and the linebackers are solid. With a front 7 that good, you've got to keep the Texans from running the football, and you got to put some heat on C.J. Stroud. All those weapons don't matter if C.J. Stroud can't take the time to set up and get the ball to those weapons, and then minimize what they're not good at there. The Colts secondary, they have got to heat C.J. Stroud up, because if the Colts secondary has to hover for a long time, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So if you're the Indianapolis Colts, do what you do well, minimize what you're not good at, and hope that you can hang on here in this matchup against the Houston Texans. This matchup is available for you at BetUS. Look at all the fantastic things that you can wager on, from money line to point spread, the over, under, even team totals. BetUS has so many different things. I actually don't love the over in this one. Week 1 of the NFL historically has a lot of lower scoring games. I was looking back at week 1 last night, and I was like, man, not many people scored a ton. 49's a big number. Maybe these defenses can't get it done, but how about a little wager there to get you set for this one? So I don't like to usually root against points, but in this one, I can't see how the Colts are scoring enough to get to that number. Texans, though, they're going to score. How do they win this football game? March the weapons down Main Street is the way that I like to say it. The Texans have lots of stars, budding stars, potential stars on this team. Obviously, Stefon Diggs is one of the best wide receivers in football and has been for a few seasons. He's a star. Nico Collins is a potential star. Tank Dell's a potential star. Joe Mixon is a budding star, maybe at the running back spot if you wanted to be a little bit generous, but he is super reliable. And obviously, the quarterback is a star. You look at the offense that the Texans have, showcase those weapons, get the ball in Tank Dell's hands. Let Nico Collins go out there, win over the middle. Stefon Diggs from the slot, just absolutely with ease getting open over the middle and making things happen. You start to see how things can get out of control for the Colts really quick. Remember, the Colts, if they're going to have a lot of success, probably run the ball. It takes a little time. And sometimes if a long drive ends up in 3 and the Texans have, say, a 3-minute drive that ends up in 7, it starts to demoralize the Colts a little bit. It happens over there on defense too. March the weapons down Main Street. You've got one of the best pass rush duos in football if you're the Houston Texans. Unleash hell with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, and then hope that the rest of those guys in the front 7 can just make those two right from a rushing, from stopping the run standpoint, from getting after Anthony Richardson. Anderson and Hunter are going to flush Richardson out of the pocket. It's going to be up to the linebackers, Jalen Petrie from that nickel slot cornerback spot as well, to make sure that when they flush Richardson out, they don't get to him for a sack or a tackle for a loss. It's up to those linebackers, Aziz Al-Shire, Jake Hansen, Henry To'oTo'o, and Petrie, to make sure that they make those two edge rushers right. And then from a stopping the Colts passing situation secondary, he'll throw you one. Anthony Richardson will give you an opportunity to capitalize on a mistake that he makes. Maybe that's Derek Stingley, who has been fantastic, probably the best player start to finish when it comes to Texans training camp. Maybe that's Kamari Lassiter, the rookie. Maybe Anthony Richardson challenges the former Georgia Bulldog, and Lassiter can make it happen with his rookie success early on. Either way, Anthony Richardson will make a mistake. He'll throw you one. Capitalize on that mistake. A score prediction for you. I don't like the Colts in this matchup. I do like the Texans in this matchup. We already talked about how not a ton of points, but enough from the Houston Texans standpoint. 27 for the Houston Texans, 16 for the Indianapolis Colts, as they have a bunch of drives stall out and have to end up in field goals. The Texans turn those into touchdowns. That's a big difference maker for you in this one. What's your score prediction? Let me know in the comment section down below. Throw me a thumbs up on this video. Do you like the day of, right before the game videos? Let me know in the comment section as well on that one. And don't forget, when you want to try BetUS, use that code YouTube150, all in one, YouTube150, to get that 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. You will not be disappointed when you visit BetUS, America's favorite sports book. YouTube 150 when you get signed up the very first time. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy football to you, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.